This is Damon Stevens with Finwell Builders. Today is Tuesday, August 23rd, 2022, the stock market update for our trades of the day. Hopefully everybody had a successful day out there. Market was a little bit of flat, a little choppy, but there were some opportunities, especially first thing in the morning. So hopefully you're able to take advantage of that and pay off. But let's get into it. There's some max pain coming, or at least planned for the market here. So we want to talk about that so that you're prepared. And also take a look at, what we can possibly expect the rest of this week here. So let's get into it. Looking at the Dow Jones, you see it closed down 0.47%, NASDAQ basically zero, and S&P 500 down 0.22%. Energy continued to boom. Energy's got some volume coming into it, and Tesla. That was pretty much it for the market. Energy and Tesla. There are a lot of good news coming out on the energy side. Tesla again has that split coming up here sometime in the future. But looking at the scanner here, nothing really that we trade off the scanner today. So let's kind of take a look at earnings here. So earnings, Zoom and Palo Alto were the ones to, for today or for yesterday. Today, Dick's, Macy's, Dole. Didn't trade any of these. Didn't look at anything after hours either. Don't have anything planned for Wednesday morning, but NVIDIA, definitely going to be checking that out. Salesforce, Autodesk, Splunk, a lot of techs on Wednesday after the close. So definitely be watching those for opportunities. Looking at Palo Alto just gave us a nice bump up yesterday and then just continue to climb today. So even if you missed the earnings yesterday, you definitely had some opportunity to grab some of this on the upside. So hopefully you were able to take advantage of that, gain some of that. Now it did kind of top out around 572. So at some point typically earnings will kind of pump up a little bit and then they'll kind of retrace here. So I do expect sometime we'll probably retrace down to this 156, maybe 152 area. So just keep that in mind here if you have not locked in your profits yet. Looking at Zoom too, Zoom, you had that sell-off after earnings, and then you can see just kind of continue to trickle down again after bad news, a bad earnings report. And a slowdown, you can see here the sell-off. So if you're already shorting or you hadn't shorted, there's another opportunity for shorting Zoom on the open today. So here's where the max pain comes in. So looking at options that are expiring on the Friday, this is S&P 500. And you see everything in green is people who are in calls, basically buying call contracts for the market to go up. Everybody in red are hoping to short the market and make money on the short. Now, if the market wants to take back as much money as possible, it's going to try to keep the money somewhere in this area of this max pain area, which means most of the people who have calls will lose their money and their contracts, and most people who are shorting the market will lose their contracts. And you can see right now there's still 2.6 people shorting the market to long on the market. You can also see here the stock price is around 421 and the max pain's 420. Market's trying to hold that there. If they can hold there all week, very well could create pain for both sides, for people holding calls and puts to lose money. So this is kind of where you want to be careful. If you're not in options already, or if you're going to go into it, or if you need a hedge, against being on the wrong side of the trade, just keep that in mind as well. But before you do that, before you take action, just make sure you remember Friday we have Jerome Powell speaking, and he's at the retreat there talking with all the leaders, and this is one of the last meetings for until for next month. So we got a break here a little bit coming. So this is going to be really critical information coming out, and very well could swing the market one way or the other. So just be careful if you're trading out there. Make sure you're locking some profits in this week, because it just don't know which direction this market's going to go here based on the news that's coming out. And here you go here. So here on Wednesday, you can see we have durable goods, probably not, and pending home sales, probably not going to be a market shaker. But Thursday we have jobless claims coming in. We have gross domestic product coming out here, so GDP. But Friday's going to be the big one, especially this one at 10 a.m. Eastern time. With Jerome Powell speaking. So Jerome's going to tell us what's going on, what he's foreseeing in the market, and interest rates and inflation and everything else. And so that very well could shake the market based on what he has to say. So just something to be careful with on Friday. And if you haven't subscribed, definitely subscribe to FinWealth Live on our YouTube channel. continue to also like our videos so we can continue to bring this content to you. And also watch our intro video here on the front, give you a little information about our company, the kind of services that we offer, and also, take advantage of, our live streaming as well, service that we offer. And if you just want to join the Discord, there's also free Discord out here. You can join where I post the numbers before the market opens as far as what we're trading, when we're getting in, when we're getting out. That way you can kind of come into, with the market being a little bit prepared. And so definitely join us on that as well. And that's at finwealthlive.com. So looking at Apple here, you see Apple, again, kind of pull back a little bit. It's still flat. It's above the 20, so that's still bullish. So looking to see if we get a bounce here. I was hoping that turnaround Tuesday was going to give us a little bounce here today, but it did not. It just kind of pretty much stayed flat. So maybe we're going to get it late, but hopefully we'll get a bounce this week to the upside here. If we do break that 20, though, we got a ways coming down here. That could open up the floodgates. So again, be careful there. Chipotle continue to pull back here. We're flat here for the day, right on the support line, still above the 20-day. So that's more bullish. So hoping we get a bounce here. If not, hopefully come down here and we can tag this 20-day moving average at 16, around 1600 and bounce off there. Tesla, one of the positive ones today. So it did kind of spike the 20-day moving average and then got back above it. And today it kind of spiked it again a little bit, closed the gap, came back up, and we closed right underneath this candle here, which is engulfed by this candle. So we're kind of right in this candle right here, this candle range. So really we need to get, above this, 900 range, right? Or break down below this 860 range if we wanted to kind of catch a trend one direction or the other. Microsoft also pulled back here, sitting here now. It's below the 20 or the 200 and the 20, and it's right on the 100-day moving average. So starting to pull down here a little bit. The more this curls down, the more likely that's going to become more bearish. So looking for Microsoft to pull back up here a little bit if we can. Amazon, same thing, got to curl down on the 20, and we're sandwiched between the 20 and the 100. So we need to get a bounce here, but we do have a gap to fill down here. So it's very likely we could come down here and fill this gap, around this area, 129, 130, 129 area before bouncing off. But we also have a gap above. So we're kind of like sandwiched in here a little bit. So looking for something to break the 20 or come down to the 100 and bounce from there. Looking at NVIDIA. NVIDIA has earnings, by the way, coming out tomorrow after the close. Keep that in mind. If you're trading NVIDIA, be really cautious here because, you don't know exactly what direction it's probably going to go based on kind of the things that have been coming out in the news lately. There very well could be some bad news around all the chip suppliers and getting supplies overseas could possibly impact NVIDIA. So I'm just being cautious. But you can see here we're kind of in this candle here. If we break below this candle here at 171, look for some more downside here, possibly to this support line. If not, then we could break down a lot further. Right now, we just kind of been going up and down here, in this little channel. We can get, back above this candle, 175, look for a run. Now, if earnings are great, you could see a run, possibly back up here in these 180s or 190 even, if it's really positive. But if not, look for a breakdown. It could bring us down a lot lower than this 169 area. Looking at Google, again, pull back a little lower. It's still above just barely above the support line we have here, which is this candle. So hopefully we can kind of rally back up here and, head back towards the 50-day and the 20. This is, S&P 500 stocks that are above the 50-day moving average. So we talked about this as well. Basically every time we've gotten these these 90s, we pull back, and that's exactly what happened here as well. Now we're at the support line. We have across multiple time periods. So we need to hopefully bounce above this 75.44. If we break down below, we could possibly come back down here. which means a lot of companies are breaking down back below their 50-day moving average again, which is, more bearish. So just watching that chart to give us a clue. Also on the 10-year yield, it's continued to climb up here. And that means money's flowing into bonds, which means money might be flowing out of tech, and out of the stocks. So keep an eye on that one for a pullback possibly as well. And you got this big candle up here, almost to the top of this candle. If it gets above it, there could be, a run back up here to these highs here, which obviously could bring back the market, bring it down a little bit. The 2-year yield bonds kind of flat. You can spike both directions, but kind of flat today. Dollar pulled back, luckily pulled back, so that helps us, hopefully to be able to have a chance to possibly rally up tomorrow. But the dollar, got to keep an eye on that as well. If the dollar continues to inflate, that impacts a whole lot of areas. For pulling back, it helped gold. So gold pulled up here a little bit. So we'll see if we can get some more of that. But gold's definitely riding on whatever that dollar is doing. US oil, we talked about this as well. Nice little rise up here. You can see here we kind of got back and forth. So we're back up a little bit higher. So got a little bit of a higher high from the last high. And so we'll see if we can continue to break out here towards 80. The VIX broke out of this channel. We talked about this and the risk of it going up, and it has, and it's spiked up, almost through all the moving averages. So that's not good for the market. So if the VIX continues to spike up and does get, around 25, look for the market to start coming down even harder. So just really watching that carefully and don't like that spike. Same on a weekly. If you look on the weekly, we're right at the 20-day. If we get above those 2410 area, the market could start to come down. So again, here's the S&P 500 on a daily basis. You see here, kind of curled back up, showing a little bit of weakness here. So hopefully we can hold above this 100-day moving average, because we're back about down below the 20 and the 200. So that's not a good sign for the SPY. Looking on a weekly basis, you can see we cleared this candle, we're into this candle, we're right above the 20-day. So it's really critical that we hold this 412 area and bounce off of here. If not, we could have downsides to 406 and then 400 and then go down from there. So keeping a close eye on that. On triple Qs down here towards the bottom, towards our 50-day moving average between the 20 and the 50, looking for a bounce here of support. Semiconductors down here as well, showing weakness right down here in these lows right here. So looking for, a break back above, 232 or a break down below 225. IWM, you see here kind of this little cup here, or this cup little we have here. We kind of sit here on support. So this same area here, 190.44 is kind of that area where we pull back. We're holding support there. So we'll see what IWM can do. XLV, so this is financials, and see a little pullback here. Looking for support right where we're at right now, or possibly at 33.20. So hopefully we can get a bounce off one of those levels. Under the healthcare, huge pullback here, and it broke the 200-day and then it closed right on it. So we really need to get a rally going back up here. If not, that's showing some weakness in the healthcare. We'll definitely need to make some plans around that impact. Look at energy sector. Continue to climb, just continues to be a beast here and climbing up here, back towards the highs again. So we broke this resistance line here on this candle. Next candle up here, 83.68, and we're at the next candle up here, 85.22. So energy sector continues to have money flowing into it. Bitcoin just kind of sitting here consolidating on here. It might just sit here as well. Usually, typically, this is a bear flag in here. I see it drop down. We'll see if it can hold right where it's at. Okay, so let's look at Ethereum. Ethereum, again, it's like Bitcoin pulling back here is below the 50-day. All the moving averages really. So looking for support here at 15.16. If we can do that and bounce off that, then we can continue to start to build some strength. If it drops below, we have a long way down. So just be really cautious on Ethereum for right now. And again, join us, finwealthlive.com, join our Discord. That way you can get these links out here to get you hooked up for trades in the morning. And also, if you go out to finwealthlive.com, you can also join us. We have live training courses, group training, and one-on-ones as far as services we offer. So I'd love to have you become part of our community here, and see if we're going to make some money together. Also, we have this whole training course set up as well for you, masterclass. So, if you're trying to learn some new skills, we definitely have multiple techniques and strategies within our training courses to hopefully give people different ideas of how they can trade. So if you're interested in that, definitely join us. We'd love to see you. Everybody have a great night. We'll talk to you tomorrow night, see how your trades went, and get a game plan for the next day. And we'll see you tomorrow.